Okay, let's get started on the visual bridge. Some solid figures have flat surfaces. As you can tell on the model, all of these have flat surfaces where it's pointing to. Okay, flat just means it's very flat. It's not round, it's not bumpy, it's flat. And all of these have flat surfaces. A sphere does not have any flat surfaces because it's all round. So there's no straight to a ball or to a sphere. It's very, very round. Solid figures that don't roll have vertices. Okay, vertices is a big fancy mathematician word for corners. Talked about that. So corners are like these. These are called vertices, okay? If there's a corner, that means two edges are meeting. They kind of has a sharp edge to them. And then solid figures that roll do not have vertices. Okay, a ball has no vertices. There's no corners like this. Cylinder, no corners. Now, there is something called a vertex on the cone. A vertex is kind of like a corner, but you would find it more on a cone, right where it shows you right up there. Okay, so it's also known as a vertice, basically. So vertices and vertex are kind of like the same thing, but we call vertices corners, and then a vertex you would just refer to as the tip of a cone. So let's go down to number 1. Basically all you're doing is you are looking at the solid figure that they're giving you right here, and you're telling me how many flat surfaces, and you're telling me how many vertices they have, or corners. Now here's the tricky part, is on these solid figures you're only seeing part of it. So you kind of have to guess how many. So on the solid figure of a rectangular prism, it says that number of flat surfaces. Well, they're already telling you that there's 6. But if we look, we can't see all of them. You have to kind of use your imagination. So we know that there's one there. Here's another flat surface. There's one on the top, and that's all we can see. But we know there's a bottom to this, so there's one over there. We know there's another side over here. Okay, and then there's a back over there, so that would be 6. And then for corners or vertices, what they have, so I'm just going to zoom in on this so you can kind of get a better look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is all we can see. Now, there is another one below on that side. Okay, so that's how they got 8 for that. So let's look at our flat surfaces on a cylinder. Okay, a cylinder has how many flat surfaces? Well, we know that there's one on top and there's one on the bottom. So 2. And how many vertices are there? There's no corners on there. There's no straight edges like that. Okay, on the cone, how many flat surfaces are there? Well, we know there's one on the bottom, and that's it. And then how many vertices are there? One on the top. The sphere is the easy one because there's nothing on a sphere. There are no flat surfaces, and there are no vertices. It's all round. So looking at your independent practice over here, you're doing the same thing. Now, on this one, you're going to have to kind of use your imagination. For flat surfaces, you need to think where the other flat surfaces are. Okay, 1, 2, 3 is not going to be your answer. I repeat, you are not going to have 3 on flat surfaces on cube. Use your imagination where you would find them. Okay, you're doing the same thing for 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, I also would like you to do number 9, which is completing the pattern, and then drawing the shape, and then writing the name of that shape. You may look at our math fact or our math focus wall to help you remember how to spell these. You can pause this video to work. When you're done, press play to do the back together. Okay, on the back, let's get started on number 10. They're giving you clues, and you have to guess which kind of solid figure this is. So number 10 says, I have two flat surfaces. I have no vertices. What is my shape, or what solid figure am I? So think about it. Two flat surfaces, no corners. So if you think about which ones those are, what do you think that would be? Well, you think about a sphere. It doesn't have any vertices, but a sphere doesn't also have has no flat surfaces, and it says that this one has two. Okay, a cube has a lot more. Rectangular prism has more flat surfaces. Cone only has one, so that just leaves us with the word cylinder. A cylinder has flat surface here and a flat surface there. Number 11, I have no flat surfaces and I have no vertices. This one should be the easy one. This is the what? Sphere. And number 12, I have 6 flat surfaces. Whoa. And I have 8 vertices. Which solid figure am I? Looking at the list, the first one is sphere. We know that the sphere is not a possible answer. Okay? Cone. Cone has only one flat surface and only one vertice, so that cannot be it. Rectangular prism, remember, is our prism like this. So if we look, 6 flat surfaces, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that works out. And then vertices, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it must be that rectangular prism. Because if I would have kept going, looking up here, cylinder only has 2 flat surfaces. So no, that one would not be right either. Number 13, choose a solid figure, draw and label it, and then use words to describe it. So you're just going to pick a solid figure, draw it here, and then describe it with how many vertices and flat surfaces it has over there. When you're finished, you may raise your hand to get this checked.